Do you ever feel like you can't figure out how to handle the complicated parts of life and relationships? A lot of successful people are looking to Stoic advice for how to handle life's ups and downs. Get a pen and paper ready because you're going to want to write down these 10 rules that every great man should follow. Stoicism teaches you the skills you need to find meaning and satisfaction in your interactions with others. It emphasizes the importance of cultivating genuine relationships that contribute to a fulfilling social life, aligning with the Stoic pursuit of living a good life. Recognizing signs of anger and dishonesty in others enables you to make informed decisions about your relationships. By integrating Stoic principles into your life, such as virtue, inner strength, and tranquility, you can navigate social dynamics with greater awareness and wisdom. It was the Roman philosopher Seneca who said, "See, if you want to be loved, love." In a world where solitude is often feared, it is important to welcome it as a friend on the path to self-realization. Being afraid of being alone can really affect how we make choices, leading us to give up on relationships in order to avoid feeling lonely. Real friendship, on the other hand, starts with loving and understanding yourself. Here are some strategies for this. First of all, it's about love without conditions. Central to Stoicism is the recognition that everyone, including ourselves, is part of the natural order, complete with flaws and strengths. This understanding fosters a concept known as selfless love, enhancing empathy and compassion toward others. Practicing selfless love involves patience, tolerance, and refraining from retaliation even in the face of negativity or anger. To love unconditionally in daily interactions requires maintaining composure and acceptance, even when others don't respond as expected. It challenges us to treat others with kindness and respect regardless of their actions, testing our emotional responses. This approach doesn't condone enduring abuse or neglect, but advocates addressing negativity from a place of rationality rather than instinctual reaction. Stoic philosophy also teaches that loving without conditions strengthens us by decoupling our emotional well-being from others' actions and reactions. This emotional detachment isn't about indifference, but about preparing ourselves to face life's challenges with a calm mind and steadfast heart, unaffected by the unpredictable shifts in external circumstances. Moreover, practicing unconditional self-love is crucial in Stoicism, involving accepting our imperfections and uniqueness with compassion. This form of selfless love plays a pivotal role in shaping how we treat others, facilitating acceptance and kindness toward them. According to Stoic teachings, unconditional love isn't merely a feeling but a deliberate virtue requiring thoughtful actions and steadfast commitment to the greater good. Jealousy is a powerful emotion that can affect relationships in profound ways. It might make someone view you differently, as someone desirable or intriguing. If she's genuinely interested, it could prompt her to explore more about what she finds appealing in you. However, a cautious approach warns against using jealousy as a primary tactic. Stoicism advises building relationships on mutual understanding and respect rather than manipulation. This strategy, if used at all, should align with staying true to oneself, not playing games. It involves naturally revealing aspects of your life that demonstrate your value to others. By showcasing interactions with others, you become a person of interest. She may wonder about her place in your life, not to compete, but to see how vibrant your world is and perhaps become part of it. Do you feel uneasy when someone praises you in a way that feels backhanded? Stoicism helps discern genuine compliments from disguised insults. Real praise is specific, sincere, and boosts confidence, unlike barbed compliments that subtly undermine achievements. Stoics emphasize consistency and reliability in relationships. True friends support and celebrate your successes unconditionally, demonstrating genuine care beyond personal gain. Limited support, conditional upon social dynamics or personal benefit, reveals shallow connections. Stoicism encourages identifying and separating external influences from within one's control. Nonverbal cues often reveal underlying feelings, regardless of verbal expression. Navigating life's challenges with Stoic principles equips one to sail through storms, adapting to adversity while setting a positive example. Stoicism's teachings enable us to navigate social complexities with clarity and composure, fostering meaningful connections based on mutual respect and understanding. Building relationships based on genuine care and respect rather than self-centered motives aligns with the Stoic pursuit of a happy and purposeful life. It underscores the importance of not tethering our happiness solely to others' opinions, feelings, or perceptions of us. Instead, Stoicism encourages cultivating diverse personal interests, goals, and activities that contribute to our growth and well-being independently of our relationships. While Stoics value relationships, be it friendships, family, or romantic connections, they emphasize each person's journey toward virtue and inner peace. This mindset helps individuals avoid the common pitfall of over-identifying with others, which can lead to emotional turmoil when relationships encounter challenges or end. Stoicism promotes finding fulfillment and happiness through a multifaceted approach, encompassing personal values, meaningful work, enriching hobbies, and community contributions. Furthermore, setting and maintaining boundaries that safeguard our time and mental energy are integral to Stoic principles. It encourages saying no to requests that hinder personal growth and fulfillment, reflecting a profound self-respect that acknowledges the need for personal development alongside meaningful connections. In essence, Stoicism teaches that a balanced relationship balances individuality with togetherness, thereby strengthening the bond by integrating each person's skills, perspectives, and aspirations. This harmonious blend supports sustainable relationships that benefit both individuals, fostering growth, understanding, and mutual respect. And try to welcome solitude to learn more about yourself. There is a deep journey of self-discovery and personal growth that we go on when we are alone. Marcus Aurelius, speaking about self-reflection, said, "Je look within." Within is the fountain of good, and it will always bubble up if you are willing to dig. Being alone is a great way to explore the depths of our souls and find our deepest fears, hopes, and desires. Real friendship starts inside. Zeno, who started Stoicism, says that living in peace with yourself is very important. Seeking praise from others or depending on them is not the path to finding authentic friendship. The first step is to develop a deep sense of self-acceptance and happiness. When we really enjoy being with ourselves, we don't need approval from other people to feel good. Instead, we find comfort in the depths of our own minds. Relationships should be seen as gifts, not boundaries. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, told his students to pay attention to what they could change. Relationships should make our lives better, not make them worse. When we put self-love and self-respect first, we attract partners who share our values and goals. We don't have to stay in unhealthy or unfulfilling relationships because we're afraid of being alone. Instead, we choose to be with people who make our lives better. The second rule is to keep your past sacred and learn about get ready to leave. The Stoic principle of self-sufficiency lies at the core of readiness to depart. Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus emphasize the importance of being content with oneself and one's moral choices, ensuring we never become so attached to a situation, job, or relationship that we're unable to stand up for our beliefs or walk away when necessary. Moreover, readiness to leave signifies self-respect, valuing our life and decisions enough to ensure they align with our aspirations for happiness and virtue. It's about neither clinging to what we haven't earned nor holding on to things out of fear or comfort. Stoicism helps us view departure not as a loss but as a gain, a step toward greater freedom and authenticity, where we can pursue opportunities more aligned with our true selves. Knowing when an aspect of life no longer serves our greater purpose or aligns with our core values exemplifies the strength to leave. It's a reasoned decision rather than an emotional reaction, grounded in what we know is best for our personal growth and well-being. Preparing to leave also entails setting high standards for our personal and professional lives. In relationships, this could mean having the courage to end unhealthy connections that impede mutual growth. Professionally, it might involve resigning from a job that stifles development or compromises ethical standards. When you are ready to leave settings that don't serve you, being prepared to let go also teaches resilience by demonstrating the impermanence of external situations and the strength of a well-cultivated inner life. Adopting this philosophy provides a quiet security and deep inner calm. You understand that external changes cannot truly disturb your peace of mind. This doesn't mean detachment from the world, but rather a strong connection to your values and sense of self, enabling you to navigate changes and challenges with grace and ease. Embracing this approach not only enhances personal satisfaction, but also earns respect and admiration from others who see your steadfastness in the face of fear or uncertainty. Then, do you know how important it is to say no? Stoics emphasize that saying no goes beyond mere refusal. It's a declaration that you will not yield to desires or pressures that contradict your core beliefs and principles. Stoicism teaches us to be selective about the commitments we accept, ensuring they align with our values. Marcus Aurelius stressed the importance of acting in harmony with our nature and rational self, sometimes necessitating refusal of requests or opportunities that do not foster our moral or personal growth. Saying no demonstrates honesty and the courage to uphold beliefs, even when unpopular or challenging. This practice applies across various aspects of life, from daily decisions to significant life choices. It involves declining invitations that divert us from our goals, refraining from actions that compromise our character, and potentially ending relationships or situations detrimental to our well-being. By setting clear boundaries, we demonstrate self-respect and protect our resources, time, energy, and attention, for pursuits that are meaningful and fulfilling. Furthermore, saying no influences how others perceive and treat us. By asserting our limits, we guide others on how to interact with us, fostering relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. This practice aligns with Stoic principles, distinguishing between what we can control, our actions, emotions, and choices, and what we cannot, others' actions, thoughts, and behaviors. It enables us to maintain composure and freedom from undue stress by focusing on our decisions and not letting external factors sway us. Accepting the power of saying no reaffirms our independence and steers us toward a life authentic to our values. It involves deliberate discernment in our affirmations, ensuring each commitment reflects our true selves. This approach isn't about negativity or isolation, but about living stoically, making thoughtful decisions amidst life's challenges, thereby deepening our resilience and integrity. In this day and age of too much knowledge and constant scrutiny, Marcus Aurelius's words have a deep meaning. It is said, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. When you keep your past secret, you also keep your inner world sacred. Keep your past safe by following these steps. Enjoy the lessons. Keep yourself safe. There are many happy and sad events in your life that have made you into the person you are now. Like a valuable family treasure, it holds lessons and insights that have shaped your character and set you on your path. But not every listener should be able to see private parts of your life. Be careful about sharing your past, because not everyone should know what's in it. Be aware of the risks of sharing everything with everyone. If it's hard to say no to sharing every detail of our personal past with the public in a world where people want to overshare and get what they want right away, what starts out as an act of openness and weakness can quickly become something that can be used for gossip, judgment, and abuse. So be careful. People shouldn't use your past to hurt your present or decide what will happen in the future. Accept moving forward without question. Your past has had a big impact on who you are today, but it does not define you. Protecting your past doesn't mean holding on to old stories or letting mistakes from the past bother you. It's about accepting that growth and resolve can change things. Use your past to help you grow as a person, giving you new meaning and drive as you move forward. The third principle you must know is about balance and control what's important. Stoics advocate for a critical examination of the world around us to foster a deeper understanding and appreciation of life's complexities. This isn't about skepticism to the point of pessimism, but rather a call to pause, reflect, and question before acting. Seneca and Epictetus teach that our initial reactions may not always be conducive to sound judgment or wise decisions. By cultivating healthy doubt, we engage our rational faculties to discern truth from falsehoods, leading to more deliberate and less impulsive choices. Healthy doubt encourages us not to accept everything at face value, but to consider sources, context, and evidence before forming opinions. In an age of instant and often misleading information, this approach helps us align our beliefs with reality and personal values. It extends to interpersonal relationships, prompting us to approach others' words and actions with thoughtful consideration rather than immediate judgment or reaction. Furthermore, maintaining a balanced perspective through healthy doubt mitigates disappointment by tempering expectations. By refraining from extreme optimism or pessimism, we cultivate a reasoned outlook that remains steady amid life's fluctuations. Equanimity, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, denotes a tranquil state of mind unaffected by external changes. Stoicism asserts that healthy doubt isn't a retreat from the world, but a deeper engagement with it, enabling us to make thoughtful choices and lead a purposeful life grounded in rationality. By embracing Stoicism, we empower ourselves to act deliberately rather than impulsively, shaping our lives based on thoughtful consideration rather than fleeting emotions or external pressures. In the face of adversity, we can protect our inner peace and uphold our honor by refraining from pursuing things that are beyond our control. In everyday life, not chasing can mean not excessively worrying about others' approval, refusing unreasonable demands, or pursuing goals that don't align with our core values. It requires acceptance that things may not always go as planned and trusting that by focusing on our own actions and feelings, we remain true to what truly matters. The Stoic way of life also emphasizes detachment, which differs from isolation or indifference to outcomes. Instead, it advocates maintaining a healthy distance from the results of our efforts. This approach encourages full engagement in life without becoming overly attached to specific outcomes, thus liberating us from the emotional turmoil often associated with unmet expectations. In relationships, this could mean fully committing to a partnership without rigidly dictating its course. In the workplace, it involves exerting effort and dedication without becoming overly fixated on promotions or recognition. Stoic advice on not chasing underscores, valuing what we contribute over what we gain. It entails relinquishing excessive attachment to outcomes and finding contentment in the process itself. This mindset does not diminish ambition or the drive to excel. Rather, it redefines success in terms of personal integrity and the satisfaction derived from staying true to oneself. By adopting this perspective, we become less driven by the need for external validation and more by the intrinsic fulfillment of living according to our ideals and ethics. For real, finding balance is important for living a truly happy life. In a world full of constant distractions and obligations that never seem to go away, Seneca said something very wise about how important it is to make sure that our responsibilities are in line with our ideals and goals. We waste a lot of time, not that we don't have much time to live. Here's how to set priorities when goals are wrong. Bad things can happen when we focus on someone else instead of our own goals and health. It's like losing time, which is a valuable resource. The promise in our lives leaks away without us noticing until it's too late to get it back. Not only do goals that are out of order make us unhappy, but they also keep us from pursuing our interests and achieving our dreams. In the Stoic theory, which stresses balance and self-control, can help us look at how we use these digital tools and make changes as needed. When we use social media without meaning to, it can make us constantly compare ourselves to others, which can make us feel unhappy and not good enough. Because the internet is full of often unrealistic pictures of other people's lives, it can change how we see the real world and make us feel like we're always falling short of what others expect of us. You may hear from Stoicism about that we should become more aware of how and why we use social media. Our reasons for using these sites should be questioned, and we should be honest about how they affect our health. We should not passively and constantly use technology. Instead, we should strive for a more aware and restricted involvement, setting clear limits to keep the digital world from taking over our real life. Setting limits on when we can check social media and sticking to them might be a good way to ensure that our use is both planned and limited. Additionally, choosing to only follow content that educates and motivates us can change our social media experience from one of envy and discontent to one of learning and happiness. Being more thoughtful and selective about how you use social media is in line with Stoic ideas about self-control and judgment, and it also helps you live a healthier, more peaceful life. To live a more thoughtful and fulfilling life, we can train our ability to control our immediate urges by choosing how we use technology. The constant need for approval from other people is a trap that can severely limit our freedom and authenticity. In the world we live in now, where social standards and opinions are often exaggerated, it's easy to let other people's approval shape our actions and personalities. The most important in Stoic thought, on the other hand, that tells us to reconsider this dependence and to value our own ideals and inner voice very highly. Stoics tell us that real freedom and happiness don't come from being liked by other people, but from living in line with our nature and values. If other people's praise affects how we feel about ourselves and the choices we make, we give up our personal power and move away from the sincerity that makes us who we are. It's important to start having more faith in ourselves and our own decisions if we want to stop this need for outside approval. To do this, we have to keep thinking about ourselves and becoming more self-aware, which helps us understand and support our most basic values. When we listen to our inner voice more than what other people want, we start making choices that are in line with what we truly want and need. The Stoics also say that we should practice mental self-sufficiency, which means that we should find happiness and acceptance within ourselves instead of always seeking approval from others. By relying less on what other people think, we not only improve our character, but also make ourselves more emotionally stable. We can live a more authentic life and be less affected by changes in public opinion if we prioritize our own values and seek approval from within. So many people see perfectionism as a noble pursuit for greatness, but it can hinder our happiness and personal growth. Being obsessed with being perfect in every aspect of your life can cause a lot of stress, anger, and dissatisfaction. Stoic philosophy, which focuses on acceptance and reason, can be very helpful in lessening the effects of perfectionism. The Stoics say that we should be aware of and accept our human flaws since humanity is inherently flawed. The pursuit of perfection is destined to fail. Then, Stoics suggest that we shouldn't set goals that are impossible to reach. Instead, we should focus on making progress and working hard all the time, valuing the growth and learning that each experience can bring. Practicing self-compassion is crucial in this process. We shouldn't be so hard on ourselves when we fail or make mistakes. Instead, we should treat ourselves with the same compassion and understanding that we would show a close friend. This method not only reduces the stress that comes with trying to be perfect, but also encourages a healthy and more realistic view of personal growth. Additionally, accepting our flaws is crucial for living a genuine and truly happy life. When we accept that we are flawed and stop trying to change it, we make room for a more expansive and liberating experience of life. Realizing that perfection is unattainable not only makes us less anxious and fearful of failure, but also allows us to enjoy every small victory along the way as we grow as individuals. Stoic principles suggest that if we replace perfectionism with self-compassion and acceptance of our flaws, we not only relieve internal pressure, but also create an environment that is more conducive to genuine and less stressful personal growth. This is the path to a truly happy and fulfilled life, where growth occurs naturally and is appreciated. Holding on to unrealistic expectations is a harmful habit that can lead to constant disappointments and a distorted view of reality. If we want to be happy and successful, we need to check our expectations to ensure they are not only realistic, but also aligned with our values and natural abilities. Set goals and self-care as top priorities. It is important to put our goals and self-care ahead of our relationships if we want to find happiness and unity. Like a farmer who takes care of the earth and each plant's needs, we need to take care of our own goals and well-being. Don't forget that you can't pour from a cup that's not full. Putting money into yourself is not selfish, it's an important thing to do. Try to get along. Finding true happiness doesn't come from trying to impress other people or getting more stuff. It comes from making sure that our actions are in line with our values and goals. Try to find balance in every part of your life and be sure to keep your promises to both yourself and others. In plus, seek unity in everything you do, whether it's following a job interest, building important relationships, or putting self-care first. Accept what satisfaction is all about. We find the real meaning of happiness. When we try to find balance, we aren't judged by how many things we've done or how many awards we get. Instead, we are judged by the quality of our experiences and the strength of our relationships. When our interests are in line with our beliefs and goals, we can live a life full of purpose, meaning, and happiness. The fourth principle is to put your mental health first. You know, everybody needs to value our own time and place in our mind. This Stoic practice underscores the importance of being discerning about the people and activities we engage with, ensuring our energy is invested in relationships and pursuits that align with our values. It's not about the quantity of connections and obligations we have, but their quality. An important thing we want to tell you right now is self-awareness is fundamental to the concept of limiting access. Epictetus and other Stoics advise understanding what is within our control and focusing our efforts there. This involves assessing our lives to determine where our time and care are best spent. Are you engaging in activities that foster personal growth and fulfillment? Do the influential people in your life encourage virtuous living? Stoicism doesn't advocate withdrawing from the world, but rather emphasizes tending to our metaphorical garden, nurturing relationships and endeavors that yield the most benefit. Practically, limiting access can mean rigorously managing your time. For instance, refraining from checking email or social media during designated periods to maintain inner peace. It can also entail declining social engagements that deplete rather than replenish your energy, ensuring each commitment you accept holds significance and avoid squandering resources on unproductive pursuits. This principle extends to emotional boundaries as well. Stoicism teaches us not to let external events disturb our inner tranquility. Limiting access to our emotional world doesn't imply detachment, but rather choosing not to involve ourselves in conflicts or issues that detract from our well-being. By setting these boundaries, people come to value and respect our time and presence, recognizing availability as a privilege, not an entitlement. This shift reinforces self-respect and purpose in life. Ultimately, limiting access involves making deliberate choices, investing time and energy in activities that resonate with our values and nurturing meaningful relationships rather than superficial connections. This approach deepens our life experiences instead of merely broadening them, reflecting a central tenet of Stoic philosophy that remains relevant over time. This behavior shows that we often focus on the flaws of others to take our minds off of our own problems or fears. Stoics tell us that these kinds of actions can lead to a cycle of fear and hostility that weakens the basis of any good relationship. Stoic thought suggests that instead of holding on to bad views, we should show kindness and empathy. You have to try to understand the problems and situations that other people are going through, knowing that everyone has their own inner battle. We can better understand the complexities of human nature by taking an empathic stance, and we can also create an atmosphere of respect and trust between people. When we understand how others feel, we can build bridges instead of walls, which leads to stronger and more important connections. In this way of thinking, we can be less judgmental and more understanding because we know that everyone is flawed and always growing and learning. In addition, when we choose to spread kindness and happiness, we show that we are polite and worthy of respect. This behavior not only makes our relationships with other people better, but also brings us closer to the Stoic ideas of morality and moral purity. In the end, when we choose to replace criticism with empathy, we are choosing a road that makes us and those around us better. We are also ensuring a history of respect and honor in all of our interactions. Please never compare yourself to others. The human urge to always compare ourselves to others can be a big source of unhappiness and anger. Stoicism, which stresses being self-sufficient and knowing our own worth and abilities, can help us avoid falling into the comparison trap and enjoy the uniqueness of our own journey. Comparing oneself to others, whether it's by position, belongings, or accomplishments, is often driven by an outside view of success that can pull us away from our real values and goals. This also makes us less happy with life, and can also make us forget about the things we've done well and the things that make us special. Stoics tell us that everyone has their own path, which is shaped by their own choices, actions, and situations. We shouldn't use other people as examples of what success looks like. Instead, we should focus on growing as people and enjoying our own wins and quirks. By practicing gratitude for the things we have and the progress we've made, we can find happiness that comes from within, not from outside sources. For real, this way of thinking not only helps us feel better about our own self-worth, but also frees us from having to live up to what other people expect of us. Also, when we accept how different we are more likely to choose a path that fits with who we are, instead of one that is based on the accomplishments or way of life of others. This is one of the main ideas behind Stoicism, which says that being real and knowing yourself are important for living a worthwhile life. And surely, giving up comparing ourselves to others all the time is not only a way to accept ourselves, it's also a powerful practice that makes our lives more free and joyful. As Stoics taught, noticing and praising our own journey makes us more unique and helps us grow a stronger, more true spirit. This is in line with how we overdo and unconsciously use social media. More and more people are worried about how much and often unconsciously they use social media. We can get stuck in a loop of non-stop content changes and easy access that not only wastes our time, but also hurts our mental health. In our actual society, the world is full of stress and uncertainty right now, so it's important to prioritize your mental health. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Your thoughts have a big impact on how you see the world and the things that happen to you, which shows how important it is to put your mental health first. It's not much hard to put your mental health, then you may try these things. Keep your inner peace safe. It can be hard to remember how important it is to find inner peace in a society that values being busy and getting things done. But it's crucial to keep your peace, emotions in check, and inner calm. Set boundaries that are good for your mental health, like spending less time with people who are harmful to you, or making your daily life a peaceful haven. Take care of yourself first. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's an important investment in your health. Make it a priority to do things that are good for your mind, body, and soul, such as being thoughtful, artistic, or spending time in nature. Self-care should be a top concern. Don't sacrifice your mental health to meet the needs of others. Accepting the weakness to seek strength. Accept that you are vulnerable sometimes, but see that as a strength and value your honesty more than anything else. Asking for help. When you need help, ask for it. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a brave way to recognize your humanity. Whether it's through a trusted friend, therapy, or a support group, being vulnerable helps you connect with others and build resilience, which allows you to handle life's problems with more ease and grace. Lastly, develop healthy habits. Eating healthy food is good for your body, and developing habits that are good for your mind and soul is important for your mental health. Find what makes you happy and fulfilled, and incorporate it into your daily routine, whether it's practicing gratitude, journaling, or regular exercise. And no, let's talk about rule number 5. Be honest with yourself. Seneca, a famous Stoic person, said, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." Authenticity is your strength, not just a virtue. Staying true to yourself is a brave statement against failure and a sign of your inner strength in a world that frequently encourages conformity. Seneca famously remarked that how much more grievous are the things we fear than those we suffer. This observation underscores the complexities of human relationships and the risks inherent in seeking validation from others. Individuals who constantly seek approval often struggle with their self-esteem, making them vulnerable to manipulation by those who exploit their need for acceptance. This dependence on external validation can strain their mental well-being and authenticity in relationships. Stoics believed in the value of true friendships, where honesty and mutual respect prevail. By cultivating inner strength and self-worth, individuals can shield themselves from manipulation and cultivate genuine, fulfilling connections based on trust and respect. Stoic philosophy advocates for self-reliance and the pursuit of virtue as pathways to inner contentment, urging individuals to prioritize personal growth over the approval of others. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of both reason and emotional intelligence in decision-making. While reason guides logical thought, intuition, or gut feeling, plays a crucial role in discerning potential risks or discomfort in social interactions. Trusting one's instincts alongside careful reasoning allows individuals to navigate relationships more effectively and avoid pitfalls that compromise their well-being. By maintaining clarity of thought and careful consideration of whom to trust, individuals can protect themselves from those who might exploit their vulnerabilities. Seneca also highlighted the virtue of caution in communication, advising against sharing thoughts and vulnerabilities indiscriminately. Being selective about sharing personal information helps safeguard against manipulation and betrayal by individuals who may not have one's best interests at heart. This caution preserves trust and ensures that relationships are built on genuine respect and mutual understanding. Here are some things you can do to be yourself. Accept your uniqueness. Your uniqueness is what makes you valuable. Instead of trying to fit in with what other people want or with social rules, embrace your authenticity and let your light shine. Follow your beliefs. To live truly, you have to be in line with your ideals and goals. Take the time to figure out what's most important to you and let that guide your choices and actions. Listen to your feelings and stay true to your beliefs, whether it means standing up for what you believe in, following your dreams, or forging your own path. Get better at saying no. Being honest with yourself and learning to say no is liberating. Too often, we compromise our values or go above and beyond to please others, which undermines our well-being. Setting boundaries and prioritizing your needs and wants is empowering. Remember, saying no to someone else is saying yes to yourself. Have faith in your inner voice. Have confidence in your intuition. Be sure to follow your inner direction as you seek to understand yourself and find happiness. You can trust your gut to lead you to your true north, just like sailors use the North Star to find their way on the water. Practice being thoughtful and self-aware, and pay attention to what your heart is telling you. There is a way to real happiness inside of you that you just need to trust and follow. The sixth principle: keep ties going. According to Stoic thought, we can change how we expect things to go in order to avoid being let down and live a happier life. When we are idealistic and don't fully understand our own limits and the world around us, we often have unrealistic hopes. These hopes can lead us to set goals that aren't in line with what we really want or that are too difficult for us to reach right now. For Stoics, being wise means understanding and accepting our human conditions, such as our flaws and the fact that life is uncertain. Getting to know yourself is important if you want to set more realistic goals. To do this, we have to be honest about our skills, interests, and limits. Knowing who we really are and what we can actually accomplish helps us temper our expectations and avoid the painful failures that come with setting overly ambitious goals. Additionally, being more open to change and flexible in how you handle situations can help you feel less stressed about meeting strict standards. Stoics believe that being flexible is a virtue and teach us that we should be ready to change our plans and goals when life throws us curveballs. Being flexible not only makes you less frustrated, but also helps you stay calm and resilient when things don't go as planned. By letting go of unrealistic ideals and adopting a more realistic view based on self-awareness, we not only reduce the chance of being disappointed, but also create space to discover and achieve goals that are truly meaningful to us. This shift in focus, which aligns with Stoic ideas, motivates us to live a more genuine and satisfying life where success is measured not by reaching distant goals, but by being in harmony with our actual abilities and desires. Instead of engaging in gossip and negative conversations, which can have serious ethical consequences for both ourselves and our communities, Stoic philosophies that emphasize morality and self-control encourage us to consider the consequences of our actions and words. Stoics advocate for behaviors that promote moral improvement and discourage actions that harm trust and respect within groups. Gossip, often perceived as harmless social chatter, can actually damage relationships and reputations by distorting or exaggerating the truth. Stoics advise us to create an atmosphere of mutual respect and understanding by only speaking positively or constructively about others. They emphasize the importance of thoughtful speech, considering how our words may impact others and whether they are truthful. By choosing to focus on positive aspects of life and refraining from spreading hurtful or damaging information, we not only uphold our own ethical standards, but also contribute to the well-being of everyone around us. In a world where information can be easily manipulated and misinterpreted, this Stoic principle holds significant relevance for promoting healthier interpersonal interactions and community dynamics. Zeno, the famous founder of Stoicism, knew how important society and relationships are to the human experience. The greatest blessing of mankind comes from social life. In a world where love and relationships are often ignored or underrated, it's important to put family and friendship relationships first. The question here is, how to keep ties going and make your connections with other people better. Please try to do these things we want to introduce to you here. Humans are social by nature. We need to connect with others and feel like we fit in. Our ties give us power and support, much like a tree gets nourishment from its roots. Relationships make our lives better in numerous ways, whether it's laughing with friends, receiving advice from family, or being there for loved ones when they need us. You must invest in building relationships. Everybody confirms that sexual relationships are wonderful, but they're not the only way people connect with each other. In your quest for personal fulfillment and love, it's about living by the Stoic concept of self-sufficiency. Stoicism teaches that it's better to be independent and find happiness within yourself instead of constantly looking for it from external sources like a love interest, support, or attention. When you cut down on the number of texts and calls you make, you're not just being hard to get. You're showing that you have a full and interesting life that she might find intriguing and even envy-inducing. This change might lead her to wonder what you're up to, whether you're busy with something exciting, or if there's someone else in your life. These thoughts can make her think about you in more interesting ways. For example, if you used to text her every morning to wish her a good day, she'll notice the difference if you stop doing this and instead share short updates about fun activities you're involved in or accomplishments you've achieved. By showing that you're busy and content without needing constant communication, you create a healthy dynamic where both parties' needs are met while respecting each other's private lives. It demonstrates that you're a serious person who doesn't require constant reassurance to maintain interest. Being independent can make you more attractive because it portrays you as someone worth pursuing, not just someone readily available. By not being overly available right away, you demonstrate the Stoic ideals of mental and self-reliance, which can make her see you in a new and more intriguing light. This doesn't mean you should avoid talking to her altogether, but rather ensure that when you do, it's meaningful and reflects your active, fulfilling life. She may start to miss you and appreciate the times you do spend together even more when you strike this balance. Don't forget to take her up on her offer. In the complex game of attraction, it's common for a woman to test the waters to gauge your interest. She might not necessarily want you to pursue her aggressively. She could be testing how genuine your interest is. Drawing from Stoic principles, consider this. Instead of solely focusing on making her your girlfriend, focus on living a moral life. This approach may seem unconventional, but it aligns with Stoic teachings about independence and self-control, which are inherently attractive traits. For instance, if you always agree with her or try to please her excessively, you might come across as too eager or needy. The key is to demonstrate that you have your own thoughts and beliefs. It's perfectly fine to respectfully disagree or assert your own opinions. The goal is to exhibit confidence and self-assurance. You become more intriguing when you show that you're not just another person easily swayed by charm, but someone who stands firmly on their own principles. By demonstrating independence and conviction, you communicate that you're interested in her without appearing overly dependent. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that what we are attracts others, not necessarily what we want. By showcasing independence and self-assurance, you're likely to attract someone who values these traits. As you maintain your composure and assert your individuality, she may become more intrigued by you and your activities, possibly even missing your presence when you're not around. Remember, the aim is to strike a balanced approach where your attention is measured and respectful, neither too close nor too distant, which can foster attraction and mutual respect. Don't forget about the bonds of friendship and family. Spend time and effort on these relationships. They are your strong base and will bring you comfort when things are hard and joy when things are good. Aside from personal relationships, it's important to maintain lasting connections with other people. You can do this by planning regular get-togethers with friends and family or participating in group activities. To be truly happy, you need a support system that includes both romantic partners and close friends and family. Find the right balance between romantic relationships and friendships, knowing that each plays a unique role in your life. Romantic love can bring passion and closeness, while friendships and family relationships offer consistent support and love. Are you curious about the seventh principle? It's managing your time well. We need to protect our valuable time against interruptions and other demands in our lives. Use time management to accomplish tasks, achieve goals, and prioritize your health. Time is your most precious resource. It's the great equalizer because it cannot be replaced. Just as a skilled worker handles each valuable stone with care, you should do the same with your time. Recognize that every moment is an opportunity to work towards your happiness, growth, and fulfillment. Then, remember, do not overcommit to others. While building genuine connections with people is important, do not let your involvement with them overshadow your own goals and well-being. Set boundaries and organize your goals by importance. Making wise use of your time means turning down things that do not align with your values or responsibilities, which is the same as saying yes to yourself and your objectives. Establish clear boundaries and prioritize your goals. Understand your core values, objectives, and interests, and use them to guide how you spend your time and energy. Thing that will help you to be better day after day is plan your days with intention, whether it's allocating focused blocks of time for essential projects or making time for self-care and relaxation. Refrain from succumbing to distractions or obligations. Learning to decline requests can significantly enhance your control over your time and concentration. Consider how each time-consuming task aligns with your objectives and responsibilities. If a duty or distraction does not contribute to your growth or overall happiness, do not hesitate to decline or delegate it to others. In order to earn someone's interest and attention, this kind of self-control shows that you follow the Stoic idea that we shouldn't let things outside our control bother us. Instead, we should focus on staying calm and honorable inside. This approach could make her think about you in a different light, potentially increasing her interest and desire for a deeper, more genuine relationship with you. The eighth principle, authenticity in communication. That means when she reaches out after a period of silence, seize the opportunity to embody the Stoic principle of maintaining composure. It's tempting to respond with excitement, which could convey eagerness for her attention. Instead, a Stoic response would be composed and controlled, indicating you're pleased to hear from her, but not dependent on her validation. For instance, if she texts after a while, a simple "Hey, how's it going?" is warm and friendly without being overly enthusiastic. This response shows that while you've been occupied with your life, you're still open to connecting. It's essential to convey that while you value the conversation, it doesn't define your happiness or daily existence. This measured approach isn't about playing games, but rather displaying confidence and self-assurance, core tenets of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us not to let external events, such as messages or their absence, disrupt our inner peace or self-contentment. By reacting calmly and indifferently, you make yourself more intriguing and desirable. It communicates that while you're interested in her, your life remains fulfilling and complete independently. In plus, teaching her something new is one way to make a lasting impression and make her miss you. This aligns with Stoic ideas that emphasize the importance of sharing knowledge and wisdom. By imparting something insightful, you're not only showcasing intelligence, but also demonstrating care for her well-being, both of which are highly attractive traits. Consider if she's interested in your hobby or a subject you're passionate about. Take advantage of this opportunity to teach her something related to it. For instance, if you love gardening, show her how to set up her first vegetable garden. Spend an evening stargazing and explaining the constellations if you're into astronomy. It's not just about teaching, it's about bonding and getting to know each other better. People who can engage in such meaningful exchanges demonstrate intelligence, patience, and the ability to connect on a deeper level. It shows that you're not just self-centered or mundane in conversation. Rather, you actively enrich her life with interesting experiences. By doing so, you can become someone she looks forward to spending time with and learning from. This practice also strengthens relationships by fostering growth and meaningful interactions, aligning well with Stoic principles of improving oneself and others. It builds stronger bonds and enhances the sense of loss when you're not around, as you've become associated with meaningful moments of learning and personal development. It's easy to fall into a self-centered mindset where your stories and achievements dominate conversations unintentionally. However, Stoicism emphasizes humility and the importance of listening, both critical for ensuring both partners in a relationship feel respected. When conversing with her, strive for balanced exchange between sharing your experiences and genuinely wanting to learn about hers. It's not merely about avoiding monopolizing the conversation, but about engaging in meaningful dialogue, where both feel heard and valued. For instance, if you've just recounted a recent camping trip, turn the conversation to her outdoor activities or hobbies. This approach demonstrates that you value her as an individual, not just as an audience for your anecdotes. Think about how she'll feel when she finds out you've planned a trip to a place she's always wanted to see. Giving her this treat shows that you've listened to her and care about her happiness enough to make it happen. In modern times, these acts reflect a Stoic principle. We can't control everything in life, but we can control how we bring joy to the people we care about. By planning these thoughtful gestures, you create moments of happiness and demonstrate your commitment to improving the relationship. You'll both enjoy the time together even more, and she'll miss you and think about you when you're apart. Furthermore, these surprises make her see you as someone who brings positive and unexpected joys into her life. The goal isn't to play games, but to make your expressions of love more meaningful. Each surprise can become a memorable part of the story you're both writing together, strengthening your bond and leaving her eager to discover what the future holds for both of you. By actively listening, you demonstrate appreciation for her experiences and thoughts, reflecting Stoic ideals of focusing outwardly as well as inwardly. The time spent together becomes more memorable and fulfilling as a result. She'll miss your presence when you're apart, especially appreciating how you made her feel respected and cherished during your time together. These qualities are highly endearing and contribute to building a deeper connection. By maintaining a composed demeanor and showing genuine interest in her, you not only become someone she enjoys being around, but also eagerly anticipates seeing again. This approach underscores your ability to connect with her on a deeper level beyond surface interactions. Harnessing a bit of jealousy can remind others of your value in social contexts, though it requires careful handling, much like other powerful emotions. Consistent with Stoic principles, this approach involves controlling your actions to uphold self-respect and dignity. Show, rather than tell, her that your life is fulfilling and enjoyable with or without her. Imagine you're out with friends having a great time, and you decide to post a picture on social media. In the image, everyone is laughing in a friendly environment, with a female friend in the background. Be mindful not to draw undue attention. It's a candid depiction of friends having fun, occasionally tagging your friend, naturally piquing curiosity without crossing boundaries. This method isn't meant to imply interest in someone else or make her feel inadequate. Instead, it demonstrates that you're someone others, including women, enjoy being around. Such demeanor often heightens attractiveness by showcasing depth, strength, and an unwavering enjoyment of life on your terms. It implies maturity and respect towards her, demonstrating that you view her as an equal rather than someone to win over. This respectful approach, stemming from Stoic philosophy, tends to deepen and sustain interest, enticing her to seek more of your calm and thoughtful presence. "A no man is free who is not master of himself," just said Epictetus, underscoring the importance of honesty in communication. Being truthful in your relationships is a powerful act of integrity and freedom. Use the strength of honest dialogue to foster genuine relationships and mutual respect. Here's how. Speak the truth with conviction. Authenticity is built on honesty. If necessary, stand firm and express your truths passionately, much like a sturdy oak withstands strong winds. Voice your wants, needs, and goals. Transparency and openness are crucial for authentic conversations. Express your desires, requirements, and objectives without fear of judgment or reprisal. Assert yourself. Being assertive does not equate to being aggressive, It means confidently stating your desires and needs in conversations where your voice matters. Assert your opinions and interests with assurance and poise, akin to a lioness protecting her pride. Build genuine bonds. Authentic communication fosters relationships based on trust, understanding, and mutual respect. Whether discussing vulnerabilities with a trusted friend or engaging in deep conversations with loved ones, authenticity cultivates meaningful connections. The ninth principle: maintaining a balanced perspective. When starting a relationship or getting to know someone, the urge to share everything about your day may be strong when she shows interest. However, adopting a Stoic perspective emphasizes balance and restraint. When she inquires about your day or activities, it's best to share enough to keep the conversation engaging without divulging every detail. This approach isn't about being mysterious for the sake of it, but rather about maintaining a healthy space between you. For example, if she asks about your weekend, you could reply with, "It was great, got to recharge and catch up on some reading." This response encourages further discussion without overwhelming her with unnecessary specifics. It reflects the Stoic notion that inner peace derives from controlling our reactions and maintaining healthy boundaries in relationships. It's a modest nod to valuing quality interactions over quantity of information shared. By being selective with what you share, you convey confidence in the value of your life and respect for your privacy. This makes you appear thoughtful and self-sufficient, capable of taking care of yourself without constant external validation. This approach also implies that you don't view her as someone you need to impress, but rather as someone you genuinely enjoy spending time with. Balancing openness with moderation can sustain her interest in learning more about you, fostering a deeper and more enduring connection. In a world where excessive focus can cloud judgment and diminish self-esteem, a wise man named Marcus Aurelius once said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." If you want to break free from the chains of intense loyalty and regain the freedom of self-discovery and self-worth, follow these steps. Don't forget your own worth. It's a misconception that our worth depends on others' approval and support, which can lead to excessive dedication to someone else. Real self-worth comes from within and remains unaffected by external circumstances. Remember that you have inherent worth and uniqueness, much like a diamond that shines brightly regardless of its surroundings. Project confidence and self-assurance independent of others' opinions. Keep your focus on yourself. Spend quality time with yourself and nurture your hobbies, talents, and sense of purpose. When we become overly focused on someone else, we may lose sight of our own aspirations and dreams, leading to obsessive love. Invest time in your personal growth and development to find deeper meaning and satisfaction beyond seeking approval from others. Embrace personal growth. Acknowledge that you can continually improve and evolve as a person. Shift your energy from focusing on others to enhancing yourself and expanding your potential. Like a skilled gardener tends to their plants, nurture your own growth, set ambitious goals, and challenge yourself to achieve them. Free yourself from obsession. Obsessive feelings can stifle personal growth and freedom. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness to recognize and redirect obsessive thoughts towards more constructive pursuits. Enjoy the liberation of discovering and accepting yourself, knowing that your worth isn't contingent upon external validation. The 10th principle: be proud of what you've done. The famous Stoic philosopher Seneca showed us how to find true happiness by saying, "Should we suffer more often in imagination than in reality?" Seneca believed that every accomplishment, no matter how small, demonstrates your strength, determination, and hard work. Follow these steps to follow Seneca's advice and cultivate a spirit of self-celebration and gratitude in your life. In modern dating, social media often becomes a subtle arena for attention games. For instance, if you've reduced your texts to her, creating space for silence, she might respond by posting intriguing photos or dropping hints about you online to gauge your reaction. This tactic aims to keep you engaged constantly. Stoic philosophy advises against reacting to such maneuvers. Instead, it teaches the importance of self-control and reasoned responses to external events. Practicing a form of modern Stoicism, you can resist participating in these social media games. For example, you might feel tempted to like or comment on her post, showcasing a recent trip or a status subtly referencing an inside joke between you two. However, by choosing not to engage, you maintain an air of mystery and self-assurance. If she anticipates your interaction but doesn't see it, she might become intrigued and confused. Your silence communicates that you're not just another predictable partner. You have your own life and aren't waiting for her cues. This approach isn't about being cold, but rather demonstrating that your attention isn't easily swayed by obvious social media tactics. Observing her actions on social media from a grounded standpoint can make you appear more interesting and appealing, as you're not playing into typical dating games, but rather showing that genuine connection needs to be earned. Focusing on your own growth and goals is a big part of Stoicism, which is where this idea comes from. Sharing bits and pieces of your interesting life, especially when you're not with the person you're interested in, will naturally make you more attractive. If she looks at your social media and only sees quiet moments, she might think you're not very active. But if the photos you post showcase how fulfilling your life is, like a beautiful hike, a fun night out with friends, or a sport you enjoy, you're not just filling up your feed. You're telling a story of a well-lived life. Imagine sharing a photo of yourself conquering a challenging trail or capturing moments from a spontaneous road trip. These pictures don't need to be flashy or loud. They simply show how happy and engaged you are with the world around you. Giving her a glimpse into your life isn't about bragging or making her feel left out. It subtly communicates that you find happiness in your own hobbies and activities. It's like saying, I'm here, living my best life, which can intrigue her and even create a bit of FOMO, fear of missing out. She might start wondering what's so captivating about your life and why she's not a part of it. This reflects a basic Stoic principle. Work on improving yourself first, and the rest will naturally fall into place. Because your life is so fulfilling, she may be curious about what it would be like to share those experiences with you. It's a modest yet effective way to capture her attention and make her miss having you in her life. Every journey begins with a single step, and every success, no matter how modest, deserves celebration. Take pride in your achievements, remembering the effort and persistence it took. Just like a farmer cherishes the first flower of spring, enjoy the fruits of your labor and celebrate milestones along your journey. Life is a journey, not just a destination, and each significant step forward is something to be proud of. Develop an attitude of gratitude. Cultivate gratitude as a key to happiness and fulfillment. Appreciate the opportunities, blessings, and accomplishments in your life. Like a farmer's heart is filled with joy at a bumper crop, feel gratitude for the abundance around you. Remember, the important thing you absolutely need in your life to live well is accept yourself. Recognize your own value and success without waiting for validation from others. Honor your journey and acknowledge how far you've come. Just as an artist proudly signs their work, recognize your contributions to the world and your inherent worth. The trust is, words can't always compete with silence. In today's busy world, this notion might seem counterintuitive, where the loudest opinions often dominate. However, throughout history, influential figures have persuaded others without uttering a word. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in the writings of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, emphasizes inner peace and the profound impact of our actions. Stoicism offers practical steps to enhance personal relationships, work ethics, and overall peace of mind. Whether you seek to improve how others perceive you or live more authentically aligned with your values, exploring Stoic principles can profoundly influence your perspective. Again, one fundamental principle is to take care of yourself with dignity. Stoicism values ethical behavior and self-control, teaching that true respect comes from your actions rather than flashy displays. Stoicism teaches us to embody calm confidence and self-assurance without loudly proclaiming our worth. This is what it means to present oneself with respect. Walking into a room with your head held high and listening attentively when others speak are signs of this demeanor. It involves making eye contact and shaking hands firmly, demonstrating presence and responsibility not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. However, Stoic honor transcends mere appearance and behavior in public. It is rooted in virtue. According to the Stoics, virtue entails aligning your actions with your morals, both in public and private life. It means embodying fairness, courage, responsibility, and wisdom. Choosing honesty when it's difficult rather than convenient, or standing up for someone's rights when it's unpopular or unsafe, exemplifies Stoic honor. Living this philosophy daily requires consistent choices that reflect your true character and aspirations. It's about steadfastly adhering to your principles regardless of circumstances, sending a clear message to others about your values. This builds trust and respect among enemies, friends, and colleagues alike. Stoicism advises us to tune out external distractions and focus on what we can control: our actions, reactions, and beliefs. This approach fosters living with honor. It doesn't necessitate putting on a facade of toughness or indifference. Instead, it promotes genuine self-sufficiency to navigate life's challenges with resilience. Having pride, in the Stoic sense, means understanding your inherent worth, loving yourself enough to live by your values, and treating others with reciprocal respect. It's about quiet confidence derived from adhering to your moral compass rather than seeking validation from others. This encapsulates the essence of Stoic honor: quietly strong, humble yet wise. Stoics emphasize that recognizing your true worth isn't contingent on external achievements or accolades. It's about acknowledging your intrinsic value independent of others' opinions. This perspective not only boosts self-esteem, but also cultivates genuine self-respect and a life aligned with core values. To truly understand your worth in practical terms, Stoicism encourages introspection. Spend time reflecting on yourself, learning your strengths and limitations. Focus on what you can control: your thoughts, actions, and responses. This inward journey, advocated by Stoic thinkers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, reveals where your true worth lies: how you uphold your commitments, handle responsibilities, and contribute meaningfully to your community in ways consistent with your values. Stoicism doesn't aim to make us perfect, but rather to facilitate continuous improvement. Consider how you handle challenges. Do you give up when things get tough, or do you rise to the occasion, learning and growing from adversity? Your responses in such situations reveal much about your character and intrinsic worth. Respecting oneself in interactions with others is another key Stoic practice. Stoics adhere to sympatheia, the belief that everything in the world is interconnected. Therefore, treating others with respect and honor not only aligns with Stoic principles, but also enhances one's own sense of self-worth. By treating others as you wish to be treated, you demonstrate integrity and value. Stoics emphasize virtuous living as the highest good, defined by wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. Striving for these virtues across all aspects of life builds a resilient self-image, unaffected by external circumstances. When you live virtuously and accept your intrinsic worth, you become less reliant on external validation. This freedom allows you to live authentically, confident in your path. Stoic philosophy teaches that recognizing your worth involves ensuring your self-perception aligns with your highest ideals. It's a journey requiring honesty, courage, and ongoing self-assessment, but it ultimately leads to deep satisfaction. As you become more aware of your worth, your relationships and interactions gain deeper meaning. Setting personal boundaries and learning to say no are fundamental Stoic practices that go beyond mere self-preservation. Stoicism teaches self-mastery, autonomy, and inner freedom, emphasizing that setting and maintaining boundaries is crucial for living in accordance with your values. Just as Stoics like Marcus Aurelius focused on maintaining mental clarity amidst distractions, setting limits helps us conserve our mental and emotional energy. Setting limits also extends to our interactions with others. It involves prioritizing relationships that support growth and distancing ourselves from those that hinder it. This may mean ending unhealthy relationships or clearly communicating our boundaries to maintain moral clarity and respect. By setting clear boundaries respectfully, we demonstrate how we wish to be treated, fostering relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Stoicism encourages thoughtful decision-making aligned with our best selves, ensuring that our choices uphold our integrity and contribute to peaceful, fulfilling relationships. Stoicism does not advocate exclusion or superiority through limiting access. Instead, it promotes a mindful approach to personal boundaries that fosters honesty, strengthens relationships, and supports moral clarity. This ongoing practice cultivates freedom and peace, affirming our self-respect while nurturing respectful, honest connections with others.